Well, hello, everybody. How are we
Ooh,
doing today? Damn it, there
Never
it is.
been better. Oh, what's he doing? We're gonna let him do his thing.
oh geez, what is going on?
I
All
can't
right,
even
yeah.
do that.
I'm just going to
No.
apologize ahead of time for whatever he's got cooking here, but go ahead.
Round one is complete. I got the W. I am the underdog team. You know what year this is of my fantasy league? Number 3. You know what place I'm in? Number 3. What's a lucky number? What's the lucky number?
That's my
Number
lucky
3.
number. We can't. What is it? Oh,
Lobster.
Oh no! Oh no!
bro.
He's like, get that
Dog,
shit the
his
fuck out.
own
Get it out of
mother.
here.
Oh, man.
This is my year. Revenge. I'm finna rob the
Oh my
league.
god.
This is my year, bruh. Third year playing fantasy, number 3 in the league. 3. That's a lucky number.
Flip
That's hilarious.
it. Oh my god, dude.
I birthed you, and I can take you out.
Actually,
I usually don't eat seafood, but this week I'm eating lobster.
if you look at the scoreboard, Lobster, apparently you can't take him out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Little lobster bisque.
Ooh, there you go. Apparently, he was born in this world to take you out.
Oh boy,
Wow.
that's great. So
Oh,
yeah, no, we don't have to wonder who Janu's playing in fantasy football this week any longer. I think we know. I think we know
Came
the
in
matchup.
hot.
Y'all just wait till the championship week. What I'm finna do?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I'm sorry, but if you look at the scoreboard, wasn't Janu one of the only people that beat her this season? Sorry
That's
to tell
right.
you. Sorry to tell you, but apparently
Janu's
you
grounded.
you can't take him out. She's grounded. I'm your mother. I can still ground you.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the THF Extra Point Week 15 in the NFL. Some pretty good games this week. Some pretty boring games this week, and some games that went exactly like we all thought they would. But real first, before we jump into the games, let me just remind everybody real quick, because we got a special stream coming up on Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. The THF or the Beyond the Streams with THF Christmas special. We're gonna have our live Secret Santa and our Christmas giveaway. So if you haven't already done so, on my stream or on Digital Navy stream right now, use your 500
Okay,
channel
Devs.
points to redeem an entry for this stream and any other time that we go live. You have till tomorrow. Tomorrow is the cutoff. So join us Thursday night for that. It'll be great. I promise. I think.
It
Anyway,
might be. Who knows?
gentlemen, I mean, let's start with you, because you started to tell us a little bit about how you're feeling now this season. Why don't you explain?
I mean, all season I've been kind of like very hopeful and hey, there's always a chance, and I realize that every aspect of that is gone now. Yeah, it's all gone now. Did that post in your chat, by the way? I was gonna pin that in your chat, and I don't know if it went in there or not. But anyway,
I got it.
okay. So like, yeah, it's not true anymore. Like the Cowboy season, it's over. The 1%, the Cowboy season's
So
over.
you're saying there's a chance.
You're right. My fantasy football season's over. My playoff, like honestly, I'm glad I lost the round I did, because if I'm in the toilet bowl anyway, I would rather just get a low ass position and get a better draft pick. than trying to get a higher position. Like, tank it. I mean, I didn't, obviously. I put Lamar in. I put all my starters, and I tried my best. But it kind of helped me out that Q's team went above and beyond. Freaking dropped himself like 50 points from Devontae Adams and all that.
Yeah,
it's and that happened. I didn't understand what that was.
It's definitely that point of the season where some people are writing it off, whether because your team's out. Obviously, the Cowboys do still have a 1% chance of still making the playoffs, so they're not totally dead yet, but they're pretty much done.
They're on life support.
But yeah, and Ray, your New England Patriots aren't doing anything this year.
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're getting Travis Hunter. That's what they're doing. Heisman winner Travis Hunter.
That's who they're. Are they right now? They
controversial Heisman winner.
3rd round pick, baby.
They have the 1st round draft pick.
Oh yeah, and right now they're number 3. So you figure Shadur's going to go number 1, either to Vegas or to the Giants.
Yeah, right now it's the
kid from Miami. It's going to go number 2.
The current is Las Vegas 1, Giants 2, Patriots 3, Jaguars 4, Panthers 5, Tennessee, Browns, Jets, Bears, Saints, Dolphins, Colts, Bengals, Cowboys, 49ers, Falcons, Cardinals, Seahawks, Chargers, Bucks, Rams, Commanders.
Are going to shuffle
all
up.
These other ones. But yeah, the top 5 or so, it's as it has it listed as of updated a couple days ago. Raiders, Giants, Patriots, Jags, Panthers.
Yeah.
They're all 2-11 or 2-12 and 3-11.
I was gonna say, and Daddy Dabs, his Tennessee Titans aren't doing anything. Janu, your backup team, Houston, are they gonna make the playoffs? They're not gonna make the playoffs, right?
They're gonna make it.
You think so?
I think they're gonna beat the Chiefs this week for sure.
Yeah, they're 9-5 right now. They have a chance.
They're winning the South, so they're gonna get in by default. And then
there's no way the Jaguars compete, or really any other team there. I don't think.
I guess I forgot what division they were in. I didn't think. And wait. What's the record? 9-6. Is that what you said?
9-5.
9-5.
9-5.
Yeah, they're 9-5 right now.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Nobody's talking about it because Stroud's having a down year.
Yeah, they're playing like shit, but they're getting wins.
I didn't realize they were getting that many wins. I wouldn't have picked them for much over 500. The way that they've just not been a factor, like fantasy wise.
Yeah, because the Colts are 6-8, and they're the closest one to them. And the Chiefs are on a backup QB this week. Then they have the Ravens, which they might lose, and then the Titans. So
I bet
probably going to go
Mahomes
2-1.
plays.
Even if he does, I think they're still going to win that. But the Colts would have to win every single game, I think. And then the Texans would have to lose every single game. And I'm not sure after that if they tie what happens. But that's the only way that they would Let me even look at the Colts schedule and see what they got.
Actually, I kind of take that back. It'd be stupid for Mahomes to play this week.
I mean, the Colts have a super easy schedule.
They still haven't locked down home field. That is a big factor.
Who? It's the AFC. Let me see. Yeah, they haven't locked it down. If the Steelers lose one more, then you would think that they would have it locked down. Well, I mean, it could still lose.
They're still fighting Buffalo, and Buffalo has the tiebreaker.
Right. They would have home field up to Buffalo if Buffalo passes them. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. They would start off home field, though. So never mind. I mean, they got that much to play for. I could definitely see because he's not ruled out, and I don't think they will.
He's questionable. His X-rays are negative. He's questionable.
Yeah, I don't think they will rule him out. He'll be a game time decision. Just to mess with people, but I think he'll play. Absolutely. I mean, has he ever missed a game?
The worst case scenario, even if they keep him out, just because no matter what, they'll make the playoffs. So in case it looks like it might be serious or they don't want to risk it, worst case scenario, they'll finish like what with 3 more losses, 4 losses on the season. 13-4 ain't bad finishing a season if you want to make sure your quarterback doesn't get seriously injured. They will 100% still make the playoffs, and if they've proven anything, it doesn't matter where they place in the playoffs; they'll just win.
Yeah, no kidding. And they have one on the road in the playoffs now, too. So it's not like they can't do that. How about the games this weekend? What do we think? What was our obviously that Bills Detroit game was kind of the headline of the week. I'd love to start with Thursday, but my God, was that an awful game?
The Detroit game.
What a disaster.
What, the Thursday night game?
The Monday night games too. Thursday night was okay, but
I thought it was terrible.
not good football.
I mean, I pick up Stafford to fill in my QB needs for the week after he just had a ridiculously awesome game against the Bills, and the Rams shit the bed basically against freaking oh God, who did they play?
The
Thursday
49ers.
49ers, yeah.
Yeah.
Broken down 49ers who just happened
It
to
was
shit the bed
pretty much
first.
a wannabe snowball is what it was.
It was awful. That game
It was a
awful.
situation where it felt like watching either one of the quarterbacks pass the ball would have just been. I mean, don't get me wrong, you wanted to see it, but like, was it Brock Purdy 142 yards on the game, and Matthew Stafford 160 yards? Neither quarterback even went over 200 yards passing. Just field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. Like,
Yeah,
it was 29 rushing attempts from Kyren Williams, 16 from Gerardo. Like, it was a heavy rushing game from them. And in a snowy situation, that's why you love to see it, but at the same time you hate to see it, because in a snowy situation, it's going to make for good contact football, a lot of rushing, a lot of hits, a lot of shit like that. But it's going to be a low-scoring contest, because guess what? The other team knows what you're going to do. You're going to be passing it. I mean, pass it. You're going to be running it.
The craziest game of the week,
pretty hard
bro,
to pass
for
that
me
shit.
was Jets and Jaguars, bro. Why the hell was that game good?
I
Why was
know.
that a
Mac Jones.
high-scoring
Dude.
game? I don't understand.
I'll tell you why, dude. Because I picked up their defense.
Also because bye week for the Jets.
They had to get scored on.
Yeah, backup quarterback on the Jets. And then Brian Thomas puts up the best week he has all season long
Mac
with
Jones.
like almost 40 points. You're like, what the
Yeah,
hell,
literally, dude.
man?
That's what I was like. They're already a weak offense. They're going up with another backup quarter. Like, they're going even deeper into their quarterback core. They're gonna suck. And I'll pick up the Jets defense since I'm switching defenses every week anyway. Yeah, they got me like 7 points. I think it was. Yeah, 7 points. 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. That's it. Like, dude, who saw that game coming?
Yeah, it was crazy. That was my choice going into the fantasy football weekend with no QB. That was my choice, was Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I
mean, under normal circumstances, Matt Stafford's not a bad pick.
I really wanted.
He bailed me out during my bye week. I had both of my quarterbacks in our league were on bye, so I picked up Stafford.
I really wanted to take Aaron Rodgers, and I second guessed myself, and I looked at what Stafford had just done against the Bills. I knew that Puka Nacua and Cup were healthy. I was like, I gotta take Stafford, and I picked
How many
up
points does Stafford get?
8 and some change.
Well, he did better than Tua.
While Aaron Rodgers put up like 30 freaking fantasy points, dude. I was so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed. And you'll see when we show the
14 for 31, 142 yards and an interception from Brock Purdy. Then 16 for 27, 160 yards. Nothing else from Matthew Stafford.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was crushing, dude. I honestly thought my fantasy week, my round 1 in the playoffs was over on Thursday night because of that. Because I also had Kittle, who did nothing. I mean, he put up 10 points, but for a Kittle, that's nothing. I mean, he needs to put it, especially for how underwhelming my team has been lately. I need Kittle to be the stud that he can be, you know. And that game was just awful. But I digress. There were a lot of great games on Sunday, so let's move on to those.
All right.
Yeah, obviously the Jets and Jaguar game, that was crazy. And the Dolphins, I was gonna say they kind of shit the bed and surprised everybody, but damn, I didn't realize the Texans were still this good. I wish I'd have picked Houston this week. Like now I'm like, why did I pick Miami anyway?
I don't know. Miami, I feel
I said
like
the same thing.
Yeah, like I feel like it's one of those teams where you never know what you're gonna get from Tua. I watched that game, and Tua was on his completions. They were short little dink and dunks, and then you just saw interception after interception after interception, and like I don't know. I don't want to watch the Miami Dolphins, and I'm sure the Miami Dolphin fans don't want to watch the Miami Dolphins do short little completions. You have two of the best damn wide receivers in the NFL. Dude, send that ball down the effing field, man. It should be 100+ yards for Tyreek, 100+ yards for Waddle, 100+ yards for any of the wide receivers. Like, dude, chunk that shit. That's what you were based on. We're out here 196 yards on the game. Come on,
yeah,
man.
that's terrible. I mean, they do have one of the best wide receiver duos in the game. Like, there's a lot of teams that would kill for that duo. The Cowboys
Last
being one of
season,
them. You know, we're
when
very
they had
one-dimensional
Tua healthy.
now.
Remember, we looked this up like a couple weeks back when we were talking about if Tua was going to come back or not, because if they needed him, and with Tua in there on the last season when he was healthy, they had set the NFL record for the most games in a season with two wide receivers going over 100 yards in the same game.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Dude, now all of a sudden, you just see Tua go out there and not want to look deep, throw interceptions. Doesn't look like it's one of those weeks where the stirring up there. It went the wrong way, and he's out there throwing interceptions.
Yeah, you
hit the spin
like
cycle by accident.
love to blame it on the brain
cycle by accident.
his CTE or his brain mush, but you know he's had great games since he came back, so I don't understand.
That's why I said it's like a switch, dude. Sometimes that switch just happens.
He gets hit the wrong way and it's gone.
Yeah.
He just gets hit and then
he's on the sideline and somebody walks up and pats him on the back. And it's like, hey, good game. Huh? Oh, shit. Half concussion.
Yeah. Here's the rest of the pick'ems there. I'll bring that up real quick. And obviously the Dallas and Carolina game was fun to watch. There were a lot of people that thought that Carolina was going to win. Ray being one of them. Why did you pick them?
Wrong. Watch the tape. I did not say that they were going to win. I said they were going to cover, which they also did. Don't you put that on me.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I definitely said they were going to win. I picked them.
Clearly. I never.
I actually remember
I said that they're going to. I said, and I quote, they're going to win the game. But
yeah, he's like, I don't think they'll lose, but I do think Carolina will cover.
Hey, y'all all picked Miami.
I don't think they'll even cover.
Y'all took Miami. I'm the only motherfucker that took Houston.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why I took.
I honestly don't remember why I took Miami.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know why I did.
I thought Houston, and me personally, I didn't even think. I pick off instinct like instantly, and I thought Houston has been sucking lately. So I picked Miami, and apparently I was wrong about that. Like Wakko said, I just thought they'd been trashing it, but apparently they are winning games.
They are the absolute quietest 9-5 team I've ever seen in my life. I really did not think that Houston had a better record than Miami.
Y'all are tripping, bro.
Bro, I'm serious. That's why I picked. I thought Miami was the better team. Lord, I apologize. You know, like I had no idea. I had no idea that Houston
like
was
the Buffalo
9-5.
pick, by the way.
Bro,
I saw that, man. I saw that. I hate to sound like 7, But with the way Josh Allen's been playing lately, man, I have Lamar Jackson on my team. He's been one of the best point scorers in fantasy football this season. But when you watch Josh Allen play, I'm telling you, I feel like he's got a freaking chip on his shoulder because of those comments that happened where everybody was like, oh, was he only good because he had a good wide receiver core, or is he trash, or is he good? Or he's been. I honestly think he is 100%, if he keeps playing like he's been playing, going to be the MVP this year. Super Bowl or not, I think he'll win MVP. And
Yeah.
in a game against Detroit, I saw him easily, which I haven't even looked at the stats yet, like exactly what he did, but I was like, dude, Josh Allen's gonna kill it.
Here's what I did, and those games are side by side on the sheet here. Here's what my train of thought, and I did like the opposite in these two games. In Buffalo, Detroit, I thought Buffalo was going to win, but it was a coin flip to me, and I wanted Detroit to win, so I went with Detroit. On the Tampa Bay Chargers game, I did the opposite. I wanted Tampa Bay to win, but I thought the Chargers were the better team, and they were definitely going to win this game, so I went with the Chargers.
For me,
I got them both wrong.
Yeah, so for me, it was a toss-up. Like I figured, so I've been betting Detroit all along, but I've also been betting Buffalo all along. So it was like,
yeah, now what do you do?
Man, but the Tampa Bay Chargers one, it's like Tampa Bay, they can afford to lose this game and still make the playoffs because the NFC South is dog shit. The Chargers, they came within inches of beating the Chiefs in a divisional round, a divisional game where they're fighting for a playoff spot. And I thought, no, Chargers have way too much on their. They have way too much at stake right now. They're not losing to Tampa Bay. But in Tampa Bay's defense, they're fucking awesome. And I've been saying it all along. They are a sleeper pick in the NFC, man. NFC is wide open. I know there's a lot of high win teams, but Baker's baking, man.
Bro, he is. He definitely is. I mean, if you're going to look at a one of the middle of the rung teams, or one of the teams that's on the bubble or winning their division by default, not one of the superstar teams like Detroit, Buffalo, Ravens, whatever, and you're going to say that's my MVP, it would have to be Baker, because that dude is cooking. Like it's great to see.
He's up there.
It's great to say. Yeah,
and
he's
not to just like to other MVP candidates talk about that, but I also would definitely put it up there for Goff. Like Goff, that last game, 494 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
They lost the game.
I mean,
it's lost the game.
Yeah,
that's not the most Joe Burrow thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, bro got Josh Allen straight up.
Exactly.
Look, he's the first quarterback to throw 5 interceptions in a game and win, and also throw 5 touchdowns in a game and lose. Yeah, he's the first quarterback in history to do that in one season. Which is just crazy, right?
Crazy, wild.
This season, which by the way, this season we had multiple wide receivers that almost went to 200 receiving yards on a season that we have had very poor passing. Speaking of quarterbacks, it was freaking Amon-Ra St. Brown had like 190 something yards, and then Devontae Adams had like 198 yards or something like that. Like multiple, I think it was like 4 overall wide receivers went over 100 or 150 yards, and like 6 or 7 wide receivers went over 100 yards. Like there was a lot of heavy passing this week in an NFL season where we've talked multiple times about how they have not been passing nearly as much.
Yeah, it's starting to come back a little bit. I think it felt like it felt like the season just kind of got off to a really slow start when it came to stats, like especially wide receiver and quarterback stats. They were just slow out of the gate this year for some reason.
They weren't passing the balls, man. Like it was a lot of the 20 completions, 190 yards. Or you should have more than 10 yards per completion as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. If you have
like
20
we went back to the 90s,
like 250 yards. Exactly. Like, come on, guys, pass the fucking ball.
Notice how on the sheet there, everybody agreed with Washington stomping New Orleans, Baltimore stomping the Giants, and Cincinnati stomping Tennessee. We were all in agreement on those 3 games.
No.
It would have been another one if the next 2 picks
Q.
were only one descent as well.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
Yep.
Q stepped out of line on that New England and Arizona. Q, our one perfect week pick'ems expert, was at the very bottom of the pack this week with only 9 right, where everybody else had at least 11. Little first of worst
Which
for Q Swin this
I just
week.
want to point out too. Thanks a lot, Wakko. You could have gotten one more wrong, and then we would have all had 12 from the score here.
Look, I'm trying
Hey,
to catch up to Firestorm.
he's trying to catch up to me. He needs all the help he can get.
Wakko's trying to show off over here.
Or
I'm
we
trying
can
to
just
catch up to
team
him.
up on all the other guys. Just take the same picks.
Yeah,
every week.
imagine combining our picks, man. We would have what? What, 49, right? If that was the case, we win every time.
Let's do it.
Speaking of Q Swin, there he is coming in with the raid. Thank you so much, Q Swin, for the raid over on the Twitch machine. Appreciate you, big dog. Hope you had a great stream. Thank you. And what else have we got on here? Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. That was another game I was looking forward to see. I had a hard time picking that one.
That was a tough pick, man.
Yeah, I really did. I went with Philly because I felt like they are the better of the 2 teams, a little bit hotter. Saquon Barkley is just an animal. I don't know. I did not want to pick Philadelphia, but I had to, and luckily I ended up on the right end of that one.
I picked Philadelphia because I figured Saquon Barkley would go out there against Pittsburgh, and it would kind of be the opposite of the normal situation where there's a lot of passing and a lot of heavy scoring and shit like that coming from the offense. I figured it would be another 220-yard game from Saquon Barkley. And to see the Eagles actually go out there and win with Jalen Hurts dropping almost 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and Saquon Barkley getting 65 yards and no touchdowns, it's like it's not what I expected. So I can't be like, yep, I called it exactly. I saw him winning, not at all like that. Like under 100 yards from Saquon, no way. And on the flip side, by the way, starting this asshole, Najee Harris, 6 carries, 14 yards, no touchdowns. Jalen Warren, 4 carries, 12 yards, no touchdowns. What a running core from the Steelers in that game. But at least Russell Wilson threw it heavily all game. 128 yards, 1 touchdown.
Makes you wonder. I mean, Pickens is obviously that important to their team. And as a fantasy owner, I mean, I'm missing him right now quite a bit. But he's obviously pretty important to them because they really have done nothing since he's been out the last few weeks.
There was a single wide receiver that had more than 1 catch, and it was Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin had 5 catches for 65 yards. Their tight end had 3. Every other receiver in the game only had 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you hate to see it. Because they've been so good.
Wasn't even targeting people.
And I'm sure, I don't know if we'll talk about him on the injury report because I didn't see it, but Pickens didn't practice again today. So he's in danger of missing again for week 16, which, God bless, I need him back. I just need him back.
Baby, come back.
Oh, man. It hurts. It hurts.
It's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. How about that Minnesota-Chicago game? Any surprises there?
Didn't go the way the last one did.
Yeah, Brian, what the fuck were you thinking, dog?
I don't understand what y'all are talking about. I plead the fifth. I don't get it. Y'all don't have any clips of me saying that Chicago was. Nah. The other games that I have called that I said were going to be crazy picks, the ones that I was like hot take, these people are going to win. They were close. They were field goals off. Like I think both of them were literally 1 field goal away. One was a blocked field goal that if it was made, they won, and my pick would have been right. and then the other one was a missed field goal that if he would have made it, they would have won, and my pick would have been right.
Yeah,
Didn't
This
you
one?
say
I mean,
like
with
I
these,
I actually
with
look
these
like
single,
an idiot.
with these
Chicago
island picks,
sucks.
you know, with these
Chicago sucks.
with these man on an island picks like you had, and then friggin' Navy over here had, you know, you're either a genius or an idiot. Like it's
Yeah, and that's why I was like, the other ones, they were real close to making me a genius. I didn't feel nearly as bad at least picking those, even though I was wrong. I was still really close. This one, oh my god, dude, this looks like Chicago from week 2. Like that was disgusting to watch
bro,
that game.
I swear you said something like, "Mark
They were
my words."
trashing Caleb Williams mid-game.
I swear you
Yeah.
said, "Mark my words, the Bears
Yeah.
will win this game."
Yeah,
or
dude, I
something
thought,
like
dude, I
that.
thought they would, man. Yeah, dude, they were literally trashing Caleb Williams. There was a play where he had like 7 or 8 seconds or something to make a play, and he ended up taking a sack or some shit. And Troy was like, "That is something that you just don't expect to see from anybody, even a rookie. Like you don't expect to see somebody with that much time to actually take a sack." Like, bro, they're trashing this motherfucker right now, man. He was playing bad. They
tell you,
said
it,
he walked to the sideline and looked frustrated, and Troy Aikman, he was like, "Yeah, you can just see everything that needs to be said about this team on Caleb Williams' face right now as he walks to the sideline. That's all that needs to be said about this team." And he looked just so defeated. Like, dude, they're wrecking him.
I didn't catch the end of that or the majority of that game because I was busy watching the Atlanta Vegas game, simply because Dabs. I was playing Dabs in fantasy football this week, and he had Bijan Robinson and Ray McLeod, and he only needed 25 points to pull ahead and take the win, steal the win from me. And so I was intently tuned in to the Atlanta and Vegas in Kewen almost ended up being the only one to get that game right because
I know.
Atlanta was trying everything they could to give that game away, and Vegas just didn't know how to take it.
It looked like Super Bowl Atlanta.
Oh my god, it was
Let's give up a
it was such
30-point lead type shit.
Guys, what happened to Kirk Cousins? I mean, did Justin Jefferson make Kirk Cousins?
They just said today that Michael Penix is starting.
Yeah.
Did they really?
That's what happened to Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Yeah, he got benched. That's what happened to him.
yeah.
And I
They
just
said
said
they
that
weren't
last-
even going to pick someone up. They said they weren't even going to
Laundry,
pick up a quarterback.
cars,
So stupid, bro.
I just
But
said that
what-
last week.
washed. That's the word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing is, man, is that's the reason why they said that. Like, it's like with Mike McCarthy, right? Okay, obviously next season we're going to be having a new head coach in Dallas.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure.
That's well, yeah, okay, that's true. It's not a fact, but usually Jerry Jones will say things like, "Oh, there's no doubt he'll be here. Of course, we're in talks." He talks like they're going to do it. He has not been making those type of comments at all. He's just been saying that his job is safe. He's making it sound like Mike McCarthy's safe, obviously, because he doesn't want Mike McCarthy to think that his job's going to be gone. Like, he wants Mike McCarthy to keep playing and not just purposefully suck up, even though he did this season. And it's kind of like what they did with Kirk Cousins, I feel like. With Kirk Cousins, you're not going to go out there and tell the dude, "Well, if you do bad, we're going to replace you." You go out there and you tell your quarterback, "Dude, there's no way we're going to replace you. We're not even going to look for anybody. You just go out there and you play that game and you do you." And then if he's awesome, great. And if he sucks, you put him on the bench and you go put that other person that you picked up in free agency and start him and say, "Sorry, bud, it's the name of the game." But you
Look,
never gonna tell him beforehand that he has a chance of being benched. I mean,
I
there
said
is
it last week
cases
that
with rookies, but
that
not of that.
after they did what they did to Cousins by drafting Penix, that there was no way they were going to hand off this team mid-season, no matter how bad he did. They were going to let him. They were going to let him wallow in it because they already did him dirty once by drafting a quarterback after they signed him. And man, I got to eat crow on that. I did not expect it. I expected him to finish out the season. So if they said Penix is starting, man, that's a little bit. I got to feast on some crow, I guess.
And I mean, you can look at it as either they can start him and he can help the end of their season, get some great practice in for next season, or worst case, he sucks. And now you know that you got to look for a quarterback in the offseason.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to judge him off of, 3 games left?
But But you get a little look. Better than nothing. Better than leaving Kirk in the entire time and risking him just going out there and throwing a couple picks and sucking.
Yeah, I'm just saying that even if he sucks over these 3 games, I don't think they write him off. I think he still competes for the job next season.
I don't know, and I agree with that. So I just meant more along the lines of say like a Trey Lance. Trey Lance came in preseason. He had a chance to be our backup and would have been our starter when Dak Prescott got injured. If he had went in there in preseason and say thrown for 110 yards and a touchdown, that's not bad for the amount of time he played. But he went out there and threw for like 5 picks. So we saw all we needed to see in that amount of time that Trey Lance is not going to be the starter for Dallas.
Yeah.
And that's more along the lines that I'm talking about. If he goes out there and first game throws 4 interceptions, 80 yards, well, they're probably not going to be looking to start him next season. If the first couple games he plays like that, who knows? But
the worst thing they can do though is do what they've done in Indy, where they bounce back and forth between the veteran and the young guy. The veteran, because they bounced. Flacco's come in and to be the starter twice this season now. It's like, and then they switched back to Anthony Richardson again, and it's like, I don't think that's a good move to do that to Penix in Atlanta. If they're going to roll with him, and Kurt can go find another job next year. But that's, whatever. I'm not the boss.
Who's going to take over? Who's going to take over that contract?
Was it a big contract? I didn't think it was that big.
It was pretty big.
Was it really? I don't remember.
It's 250 million.
Over how many years? I mean, 250 million's big anyway, but
180, but still, that is
4 years.
Jeez.
Kirk Cousins signed a 4-year, $180 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons, including $50 million signing bonus. So actually, it'd be about $220 million with signing bonus.
I know that's another reason that I didn't think that he would get benched this year, but
$100 million guaranteed.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So no matter what, he's on the bench for him now, and he's still going to be making $100 million from them guaranteed.
That's crazy. And Atlanta, I mean, technically, they're not out of this. I mean, they're 7-7. Tampa Bay's only 8-6, and say what you want about the Cowboys, but Tampa Bay's got a tough game next week against the Cowboys. I don't think Tampa Bay's last 3 games are tough, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look at. They were showing it last night. They were showing Atlanta and Tampa Bay, and I can't remember. It looked like Tampa or Atlanta's last 3 games were much easier
than
the
Cowboys. Then they're playing
Cowboys,
the
Panthers, Saints. Yeah, they're winning out. Sorry.
Okay,
yeah, that's
all
true.
right.
That's actually.
What's it? So maybe it's Atlanta that has the harder 3.
Actually, sorry, Ray. You if you're talking about after this week they're winning out, yeah, but this week they're losing. Actually, sorry.
Let's see. They put up 40 on the Chargers, who are good.
Yeah,
They're
they've been
facing
averaging about 30 points a week on offense.
They're facing the Cowboys, who are not.
Okay, I'm gonna pull off the pickups here
So,
because we're already kind of deviating from it. And I just want to say real quick, I hope you're right, Ray. I do not want the Cowboys to win this game.
I was gonna say you guys should be in my corner right now, where you should be hoping for draft picks.
It's not even about draft picks.
There's a 1% chance you can shut that little mouth of yours, okay?
I don't.
We can still go to the playoffs.
I don't.
No.
I don't want people to continue hanging on this hope that we're all of a sudden a good team this year. Like, and we just kind of lost our way for a little while. Like, I think changes need to be made in Dallas, and we're already getting the chatter in Dallas about McCarthy getting a contract extension. About Zimmer, Jerry came out in the last 48 hours and said that both McCarthy and Zimmer have done a great job this year.
I will say Zimmer
raising
did
them
better than I thought.
I have to say,
go ahead,
all things considered, they did okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. You realize they showed one of the stats I didn't realize in the last game with the Cowboys. On screen, they had I want to say it was eight Cowboys that were on screen that were Pro Bowl Cowboys that were all on IR. We have a lot of injured people, and our defense with Zimmer, since Zimmer's been in this season, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago when we got Micah Parsons back finally, and we had Trayvon Diggs back. It was the first game or two when we actually had a pretty much full staff on our defense. And what has our defense been doing lately? Killing it. Like,
Yeah, but they've been
Zimmer's
killing it against New York
okay,
Panthers.
but still,
Like, I mean,
but
what are
the
these
pass
teams?
rush, the defense, that we've been looking better. With a healthy defense, Zimmer's actually been looking good. So I'm not gonna say that we should just completely write him off. I'm not gonna say it's all him, because beforehand we were sucking, even though we still had injured people. But I don't know. I think over the last couple of weeks, Zimmer proved that he might be our defensive coordinator.
The total win percentage of the last 4 Cowboy opponents is 32.5%. Those are the teams that we're looking good against.
Oh, I think we're gonna be
Loser.
proving it over the
but
next couple of weeks.
but they're still converting and winning the games. Like you look at
Yeah.
my team, the Patriots. They're losing a lot of one possession games, and they're losing to bad teams routinely. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Arizona. They keep losing. They keep losing to bad teams.
Well,
So
we're
the
about to
Cowboys
find
aren't
out.
doing that as much.
Like I said,
And
we're
all
about to find
season,
out.
even against good opponents all season, one of the things that's been keeping the Cowboys down has been our offense. Even when Dak Prescott was out there, when we were out there actually full healthy Dallas Cowboys offense, we still weren't putting up a lot of points every single game. And even if our defense holds a badass offense like the Bengals, what we did to the Bengals, yeah, they ended up beating us 27-20, but that score is a little inflated with the shit that happened. Like, we hold good teams also on defense to low points. The Commanders, who we beat 34-26, they're a good team. They can put up a lot of points. Like, there is times when we actually go out there on defense and we do good.
You remember
But
we got
if
smoked
we don't put up a
44 to
lot of points
19
offense.
by the 5-9 Saints, right?
Oh no, I remember all the times that our defense has also lost shitty fucking games and gotten our ass kicked, like when we lost to the Eagles and barely
That
put
was
up 9
that
points
was
on
a
offense.
healthy McCarthy and Zimmer team, and it got smoked 44-19 by the Saints.
That was very early in the season, and I agree. It was one of the points where I couldn't understand what even happened. I think everybody that watched that game had that same mentality of what even happened just now. Like, what?
But and I don't want to make this a Cowboy segment too late, right? But my problem is that McCarthy and the Cowboys of the last 3 years, I've done a complete 180. I went into the season being that positive. Look, he's won 12 games every year. Him and Dak have put together 12 win seasons 3 years in a row. Like, this is a good team. This is a good team. This is a good team. But every year they come up and they lose big games. They lose big games in the regular season. They lose big games, obviously, in the playoffs. They should not have lost to. They got eaten up by Green Bay, and that was Dan Quinn's defense, who arguably had a better defense than we have with Zimmer. And that's why I say we need wide sweeping change with these Cowboys, and I'm afraid that if Jerry and the fans buy in that it's the injuries that tanked this team this year, then we're going to have 3 more years of 12-5 first round exit McCarthy Cowboys. And I don't want it.
We do have to make changes.
I don't want
it. The Cowboys need to make changes in general, like every single year, because we stick with the same damn people. Like we talked about it a million times. I'm not going to go into it. We took Zeke, didn't take Henry. Could have had Henry and Pollard in our backfield, but we saw Pollard played on the Titans. He's been doing good for the majority of the season. He's just not the RB we're trying to use him as. And I feel like we keep making these poor decisions with players. I'm surprised we didn't just let go of CD Lamb since we want to let go and not take all these, good players and everything like that. I feel like that has to change the most because the Cowboys are not a bad team. Last year, they popped the fuck off in the regular season, but there's just that little bit of extra oomph that we have to go with those players that make a difference on offense and defense. And, a lot of that can be Dak, but Dak's not the whole team. You know what I'm saying? I hate on Dak a lot, and I don't think he's a bad quarterback. And I think the Cowboys have to make a lot of changes. I do think there's a potential to win with him, but we have to change shit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make some moves. We gotta pick up a guy like GNT. You know what I'm saying?
I've been on you guys for what 3 seasons now. That Dak is not the guy.
I don't think Dak's the problem.
I know.
Well, he's not the solution.
I said this.
That's the thing.
I said this earlier. That if we want to make changes,
quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, 100%. You could definitely say that about a lot of quarterbacks. Maybe not 31, but yeah, you could definitely say that about a lot of quarterbacks. Like say Baltimore and the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl or not Super Bowl. Say they whatever teams, they go to the championship, and Baltimore loses and Kansas City moves on. Okay, well, does that mean that Lamar Jackson's a trash quarterback? Like, he's still a good quarterback, and no matter what happens in that game, he's already.
Listen, I'm not saying that Dak's a bad quarterback. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I know.
But what I'm saying is that he can't win us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar hasn't done it, and Josh Allen hasn't done it, and Joe Burrow had his opportunity and didn't do it. But the difference
I agree.
is,
I think if we just made the right changes with our team, we could get there even with a mediocre quarterback. We don't have to be carried by just CeeDee Lamb on offense. You know what I'm saying? We could have this whole stacked team right now with the way our defense is when it's healthy. We have the people. You know what I'm saying? Just keep adding on to that, and I don't know. Just the Cowboys managing is just whack. I don't like look what the Texans did this year because of how CJ Stroud played last year. They built up on it. They got freaking Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is a stud. I would love to have Joe Mixon on the Cowboys. I would love even to have Kareem Hunt.
Stephon Diggs also.
For cheap.
Nico Collins.
Dallas imagine that. Down to one of your regional high schools and find a better running back than what they have on the team right now.
Mm-hmm. Dude, imagine if, this season, instead of Houston picking up what they did, imagine if Dallas picked up Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Joe Mixon. And at the start of the year, we had Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Joe Mixon.
In free agency, there was a world where the same team could have ended up with Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs,
Pollard, RB2.
You know what? And dropping out of this because CeeDee Lamb wanted so much money. I love the dude. And I would hate to have saw him go. But you got to make changes. Say we drop CeeDee Lamb. We picked up Stephon Diggs and Nico because they were both open. So we pick up Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and we still have Brandon Cooks as a third. Dude. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to see him go either. But with the amount of money we paid him, if we had dropped CeeDee Lamb, then we could have picked up Stephon Diggs, Nico, and Derrick Henry for that amount of money. And we would have had a stacked backfield, 2 stacked wide receivers with Brandon Cooks, who isn't a slouch, even though he's not amazing. He's not bad. We would have had him at third string with Dak Prescott to third to. Or on the flip side, drop Dak, save even more fucking money.
That's the route I would have gone.
I would at least rather see us trying to make the change than not do anything and just pick up the same old players. Like, at least if we're trying to do something.
Cooper Rush throwing to them, dude. Cooper Rush throwing to CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, and Nico Collins with Brandon Cooks at a fourth. And Derrick Henry.
Cooper Rush has held up pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
He's better than
I don't
Danny
think he's
Dimes.
like a Super Bowl quarterback or anything, but yeah, dude, imagine him with that team around him. I think he could take.
He's better than Aiden O'Connell.
He would take us there. Yeah, man, we should have done something like that, but I just say what the Cowboys need to do is say, look, we're gonna hold a Madden contest. And we're gonna see which person makes the best franchise team for the Cowboys. We're gonna hire you on and give you full rights to our depth chart and roster, allow you to make all draft picks and trade decisions, and we'll give you a season to see what you do. And dude, I tell you what, I'd go in there and make some great changes.
All right, we've got gone into the realm of ridiculous now.
Ranting about the Cowboys.
Oh shit.
Let's talk about Brian's favorite segment, fantasy football.
Actually, I don't mind the segment anymore. I don't mind. It's like at the beginning of the segment or the podcast. Like I said, dude, my season, the Cowboy season is pretty much over. My season's pretty much over.
Yeah,
I don't have to
you can enjoy
worry.
the college
Yeah,
football playoffs and
Right,
figure out
enjoy
who's
it.
going to help your team the most.
Exactly. I'm just gonna watch some football, dude. Who cares
You know what
who
this
wins
sign
what?
is?
Yeah. Who cares who wins what? Right, Q.
You know what sign this
So-
is? This is a W. You know how many fingers I'm holding up? 3.
to do with
That's
the
a
line.
lucky number, bro. Number
I'm good,
3.
dog.
So
gonna
I
win.
mentioned
Hey.
earlier about Dabs and my matchup coming down to the wire, and I had 2 30-point mistakes this week. One, like I said, not picking up Aaron Rodgers and starting freaking what's his name, Stafford, and then after, especially with Chubb going down, Ford went off on my bench for 30 points as well. So those 2 mistakes had me sweating that Monday Night Football game, bro. I've never watched an Atlanta versus Raiders game in my life, and I bet you I don't watch another one. But I was tuned in last night, bro. I was tuned in all the way. That's what Cheesehead was on bye this week and didn't stop him from putting up the most points in the league this week. Again, and that's who I play next week, so that's great. He'll be in the championship round, I'm sure. And then stop me helping Wakko, aka Benches Be Trippin', aka Lobster. Will be going against Bobby Hilfiger, Mr. Janu,
That's
Mr.
right.
Mr. Number 3.
That's
And then
right.
we got the consolation bracket there. Scorched Earth. That's you, right, Ray?
Yeah.
Are you are you in tank mode, or are you going to try to win that consolation bracket?
I mean, I'm setting a lineup and hoping for the best. At this point, it doesn't matter. You know, I would prefer a good draft pick, but I don't know. I have to worry about Janu's league. I'm top dog in that league. I have to win. I have to win, man.
Yeah, we
I
do
want
have
you
that
to
other
win,
league.
bro. I'm rooting for you, Ray.
I'm sorry, I just noticed that she scored 94 points this week, and she's out here trying to shit talk and act like she's gonna win next week. You didn't even score over 100 points.
I don't
Did
think
she
she
set a
even
lineup?
she didn't set her lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
No,
because she
knew
was
what
on
she
bye
bye.
week.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense. That's why. Okay. I was like, what am I even looking at, dude? She scored 94 points and she was trying to shit talk? You're going to get
Yeah.
destroyed. Like, what? That makes more sense, though.
Hey
Now,
man, if I started Brian Thomas, I'd be up there in them 200 points, dog. I start Brian Thomas and put in because Pollard, they were like, bro, Pollard's going in, he's gonna be RB1, right? No, he's not. So he didn't do shit, and he got taken out the game. So that was ass. He only gave me 10 points. So if I started his backup, which I picked out, that's 30. So
yeah.
I would have been in the 210s right there.
That's the interesting part about this part of the fantasy football season, is because sometimes teams are going to just take out the stud and they're going to put the other guy in and let him sink or swim just to see what they got. And that's what Tennessee did with Pollard and what's his name? Tajay Spears. Yeah. Who Dabs, a Tennessee fan, he's very high on Tajay. So I don't know, man.
It's gonna be a tough pick this week.
That's gonna be tough to decide who to start next week, because it's not like they're gonna tell you, hey, by the way, Pollard's gonna get the start, but he's not gonna play the whole game. You know.
I just like I just want to say for everyone else in the playoffs, whether you're in this league or not, obviously good luck. But I really feel like the little things matter so much. The little things, like the people that you can pick up and flex this week, is very important, or for the following weeks. I'm clearing out a lot of my bench for the next week after and taking stuff like defenses and other players a week prior. You know what I'm saying? So, Ray, in my league, there's some good picks. If you don't take them, nobody takes them. I'll tell you. But there's this one specific person and defense that I'm looking at that could be a game changer. D players too, defensive players. There's people I've looked on there that are putting up 15 to 20 points and shit like that. That's a game changer for playoffs, man. When it means that much,
look
you
at
gotta
Wakko and
sweat it
Dabs
out,
right now.
dude.
205 to 203.
Yeah,
it
that
was
would make the
203.5.
difference.
They were what 1.
Yeah,
Point and a
I have
half.
I have a couple claims put in.
1.5 points apart.
So fingers crossed I get one of them at least. My team is, all things considered, okay. I have some pretty good ballers on the team, but it all depends, So
Can I just say I just want Cheesehead to I just want his team to fall off a cliff before next week. That's all. That's it. I mean, just a little thing. I don't want anybody to get seriously hurt. Just hurt for 1 week. It'd be fine.
And hey, just putting it out there too, but Daddy Dabs as a defensive player only got him 9 points, and he lost by 1.5 points. So if his defensive player had gotten like one more tackle, a sack, anything good, gotten him 10 points or so, he would have won.
Bro, Atlanta almost pulled off a first down at the end, which would have had Bijan running the clock out. What if he'd have busted off one of those, for 10 yards or,
Exactly.
I mean, like he came.
Or like Bijan Robinson getting one more extra catch. It's a point per catch. One catch for 5 yards. 1.5
Then
yards.
you'd be hearing
points
about
right there.
Stafford, how Stafford threw for Wakko.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You'd be hearing about
Seriously.
Stafford. You'd be hearing about Ford, which you already did. But yeah, I mean, I was so pissed that I made that decision. I was so mad because I could have
You'd
easily
been
been top
Aaron
scorer of the
Rodgers.
week.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers, I swear to God, and this was one of those situations where I didn't watch the game to begin with, and I just had the scores up. And I'm doing my thing. I had price picks going where I had some bets going with that shit like that. I had the defense, all Jets defenses. I'm looking at all this shit. Okay, cool. I do something. I look back 10 minutes later or so. Devontae Adams has got like 150 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck did I just miss? Like,
yeah, I wasn't even
Devontae
watching.
Adams had 0 points.
So I had
0.
Devontae Adams in one of my leagues, and I wasn't even watching football. And my phone's just blowing up. Aaron Rodgers completed, 50-yard pass to
340+ yard completions to him.
That's insane. Where was that all season for the Jets?
Yeah. Dude, I don't understand. He had
Somebody
almost 200
tried
yards.
to save his job.
Right? Aaron Rodgers said, "You know what?
It's me,
Devonta. We're gonna work on this weekend. All right, you're coming in with me this weekend."
bro. I wonder what happened. What do you think the Jets do next season?
They get a new quarterback. They might do
They
something.
do ritual group suicide at the 50-yard line and hope for the best.
They have an ayahuasca
Yeah.
group.
Trigger warning.
Hope that the afterlife is less punishing as the current life, because to be a Jets player or a Jets fan, I can't think of
Oh, there we go.
I can't think of anything worse. Maybe being a Giants fan, but it's a close,
That's it for me.
It's two cheeks of the same ass. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Two cheeks of the same ass.
but I mean, I could say the same about being an Eagles fan or a Commanders fan, or as Brian likes to call them, Redskins fans.
I mean, maybe one day we'll get to call him that again.
Yeah, it's there's some hope.
Allegedly, there's discussion about it.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
that's what I've heard
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I was saying before, like I said, apparently the person, and I saw this on Facebook. Apparently, the person.
Well, it's got to be true.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, no, it's not. And I actually looked shit up with that because it's football related. I'm not just gonna take Facebook for it. So apparently, though, the person that the Redskin was named after, or the logo that the Redskins were named after, that person is a real, actual, like
is.
Native American person. He's a real person, and the people from his descendants are bringing up a class suit or some shit like that to try to make them change their name back because they think it's offensive to have changed it from that because it's disrespectful to him. So they actually want it to get changed back to the Redskins. Like they want that. And so hey, you never know. Who knows if it'll actually happen? Who knows if they'll get any traction? But apparently the dude's descendants want that to get changed back because they think it's offensive to have changed the name away from him.
I guess we'll
for it.
you keep us updated on that.
Learn something new
Definitely.
every day.
The Redskins are just like one of the hardest names in the NFL, one of the hardest logos. So different than the rest of the teams. Some kind of basic, like the Commanders, the football team. Like, bro, that's like a default name on Madden 12.
Yeah.
When they decided on the Washington Commanders, I swear to God, man, I was like, dude, did a 9-year-old name their team? What the fuck just happened?
It
It's
was
like a
like
minor
Pick a
football
ball
league name.
out of a fucking hat and say Commanders.
it was slightly better than Washington
effort
football
name.
team.
It's literally a no effort random name generator.
The Washington
ass
football
name.
team was just them saying, "Listen, we're PC now, okay? Get
It sounds like soccer.
it?"
Yeah. Well, yeah, in hockey we got the Utah Hockey Club. They haven't picked a final name yet in Utah, and so the expansion. Well, it's Phoenix Coyotes. They moved from Phoenix to Utah, and they just went with the Utah Hockey Club this year. It's like, did you not know they were coming? Like, I mean, couldn't you pick the name? So weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to Week 16 in the NFL. Here's our pick'em sheet. Obviously, that Dallas and Tampa Bay game is a must watch after much discussion that we just had. But what else is what I think that Philly Washington
Denver
game
Chargers
is
could be
pretty
a
interesting
crazy
too.
game.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Oh,
that
yeah.
might be a good one to bet on. I'm not gonna lie. Might be a sleeper game.
Nope, it's Thursday. I stay away from it.
It's gonna be it's a divisional matchup. Both of these teams are fighting for playoffs. It's gonna be.
It's going to be
It
12
might
to
be a
6.
slugfest.
12-6.
Yeah, it's either gonna be something stupid like that, or it's gonna be like
I'm giving it to
42 to
him.
38.
I can't help it. I've drunken the Kool-Aid on this young dude, but I believe in Bo Nix. Dude, yeah, I'm calling
Bo
Denver
Nix
to win it,
season.
man. I think Bo Nix is gonna come out there and he's gonna do it, man.
All right, it's going to be 18-6, Denver. Like, seriously, I want nothing to do with any more games on Thursdays. I think they should just get rid of Thursday games. Sick of them. Now,
I was gonna say, like, I already sent you my pick'ems, but I'm kind of looking at them, and there's not really any like hot take pick'ems that I'm looking at. They're like, oh, that's gonna be a crazy
Taking
game.
Chicago over Detroit. They almost beat them last time.
Yeah, definitely doing that. No, there's no like crazy picks for me this week. After the Chicago last week, hell no. If Chicago had done what I thought they would do this week as the Vikings,
He says
yeah,
there's
I'd
no
probably
crazy
pick 'em.
picks, but then he picked Dallas.
Yeah, I picked
Yeah,
Dallas one, honestly.
yeah, I know.
I picked Dallas one,
I know you
honestly.
did. I know you did. Looking at that
That's
little
not
133
That's not
over
a
there.
crazy pick for me.
That little
Okay.
133 looks lovely.
It's not a crazy pick for me.
What week are we in? We're in week 16. You'd have
Yeah.
eight more wins if you had, you actually be in the running if you had chosen properly. But
You
where
know
we
what? You know what? I think I chose very properly. Okay, I think I chose very properly.
avoid the Bears at all costs.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying there too. Yeah, fuck that. I was almost gonna drink the Bears Kool-Aid like I did
Garbage.
on Bo Nix. Bo Nix has done it enough times now that I'm kind of in on him. I'm in on him. But the Bears, they got their new offensive coordinator. They fucking killed it. 2-3 weeks in a row, they were doing great on offense, and now they're back to playing like they were week 2, week 3, week 4, week 1. Like, nope, never mind. It was a fluke.
So, do we think that Denver's taking this over the Chargers?
I don't know yet.
I do.
I don't know.
I picked Denver to win.
It's a home game. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a toss-up for me. I think that one's a coin flip. On one hand, like you said, the Chargers should be hungry, and they got a lot to play for, like they did last week. And but yeah, I believe in Bo Nix as well. So I don't know. That one's gonna be tough. I might actually have to pull out some research on that one before.
Yeah, I'll wait until 1:00 on Thursday.
Apparently, I need
I
to
didn't wanna
look up
forget.
Houston's record before I pick the Houston KC game, because that one is. I tell you, if Mahomes doesn't start, then I give that one to Houston.
Yeah, I will say
we know by then?
if Mahomes,
We won't.
if it is a more likely situation that Mahomes won't start, and we realize that by Thursday, if they put out information that it looks doubtful that he'll play or something like that, you'll probably get a message from me. Wakko changing my KC pick over to them losing.
But I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can bet against Mahomes. They're 13-1.
Yeah,
They're freaking.
if he's gonna play, they're gonna win.
I don't know. I can't. I just can't. I don't think I've bet against KC once this year. I think I've.
have when they lost.
What when was that? Against Buffalo?
I don't remember. Remember, I was on like a 3-week streak of picking them losing. It was Denver, and they almost lost. And then the next game, they almost lost again. Both of them were like field goals. Then the third week, I picked them to lose, and they won. I picked them to lose, and they lost.
They lost to Buffalo, right?
I was even like, I can finally stop picking them to lose against every team.
I've been picking
It had to
them.
happen.
Now listen to this though. On an off note, bro.
I think it was.
I don't know. Y'all definitely didn't watch this game, but the Giants game last week, they are on potentially still this week their 4th string quarterback. Tommy DeVito got out. The guy above him got out. They're on Tim Boyle right now. Tim Boyle went out there. He's never had a single rep with the first team offense, and he threw a pass TD for him and made neighbors cook. He went out there and cooked, bro. 4th string quarterback, by the way, outshining everybody. I think if he starts next week against that Atlanta with, Michael Penix in there, who might be ass, the Giants could be a sleeper team to win. But the thing is that Tim Boyle, he didn't start the whole game. It was just a flash. But the flash when he was in the game was good. He impressed the coaches. Giants coaches need something. You know what I'm saying? They need something at quarterback. They'll be happy with anything. But he went out there and did more than that. It's crazy. 4th string quarterback right now.
Some of those
Yeah,
times,
that game
man,
is
those nobodies. They want to prove themselves. They're gonna go out there and shine.
that game is 2 train wrecks headed right for each other. I don't want any part of that game. Or the Arizona Carolina game. I don't know who I should pick in that one either. Tennessee Indy, another one that's just like who are we picking there?
To me, Carolina's one of those teams where you almost can't. It's like why I felt like so heavily that the Carolina line was a trap, because it wasn't that I felt like. Even then, it wasn't like I felt like the Cowboys were necessarily going to just beat them like we did. But I felt
did.
like we were. I definitely, until after Vegas let out those lines, then I agreed with you. I thought we were going to stop the shit out of them. I figured we probably win by a touchdown. But when they released those lines, put at 2.5, 3.5 point, like, dude, come on,
That was
man.
disrespectful.
It is. To me, that's disrespectful with the way that Carolina's been playing. And with Bryce Young and all their other quarterbacks that they've had and all the troubles that they've had, like, to me, there was no way it was going to go like that. And I kind of feel like it's not, I don't know what the point line is for this one with Carolina, Arizona, but I feel like if it's close again like that, it's almost going to be Arizona's probably going to kick the shit out of them because they're going to feel like the Cowboys did. It'd be a little bit like disrespected. Like, dude, how dare you put Carolina at like a 1.5, 2.5 point spread or something?
You know
I
what
mean,
it is,
Arizona's
though?
not great, but Carolina
Carolina
sucks.
went out there the week before, and they almost beat Philadelphia, and
Yeah.
that turned a lot of heads, and I think that factored heavily into the way that Vegas and better saw the Dallas Carolina game shaping up. I don't understand why more people didn't realize that the Cowboys were going to beat the shit out of them, because the Cowboys defense had been gaining steam, and but anyway, whatever. Obviously, those guys are smarter than me, but yeah. But in a game against somebody like Arizona, I think they very well could get out there. I mean, Arizona's not gonna overlook Carolina like Philadelphia did. They're gonna be like the Cowboys. They're gonna be like, we're not letting these guys come in here and embarrass us.
Exactly.
So they're gonna take them seriously. But Carolina could easily put up a fight and perform well against a team like Arizona, I think. So I don't know. That one's a coin flip. Arizona's only 7-7. It's not like they're the worst team in the league. They're 500. But you look at the Panthers, they're 31st in offense, 31st in defense, 29th in passing, 24th in rushing. Like, they're bad.
Yep.
They're bad.
That's what I said. I was like, putting them at a close point spread to us. I'm not saying that we were going to beat their ass, but dude, saying that once they point, then I changed my shit. At first, I was like, dude, I'm not saying we're going to beat their ass, but we're going to win. And then they put a point spread that close, and it's like, dude, you're one of the worst offense. Like, I know we're not a good offense either, but you're one of the worst offenses in the NFL with a really trash record. You're trying to put them that close to us? No way.
Then we got the Ohio showdown. Jameis Winston has been benched. And so, yeah, so now they will have quarterback number 3 try to come in and take care of Cincinnati in Cincinnati.
Dude, don't you like that number or something like that? Aren't you like all about the number 3?
Number 3, it's a W because I'm gonna beat that lobster.
Number 3, cuz.
If you take the number 3 and you put these two together and then you bend it this way, it's an L for the fucking lobster that I'm gonna kill. That's what you should have done.
Hey, we're just coming up with new things every second. You know what I'm saying?
That's terrible. It's awful. How about these two train wrecks, San Francisco and Miami?
Probably gonna be a shitter. I'm not gonna lie.
I picked San Francisco to win, but I don't think it's gonna be a high-scoring game at all. On the flip side, though, I know y'all gonna have to get me a tinfoil hat that I'm gonna have to wear for the Cowboys games from now on when I say this shit. But I think the Cowboys are gonna win it. I don't think they're gonna lose this game. I think the Cowboys are gonna go out there. Our defense is playing a lot better. I don't think it's that crazy that as long as our offense can play well, that we can't win this game. I think we're gonna win it. Like, I think we'll hold Tampa Bay to kind of like I said with Cincinnati, and I was very close. I said I think we'll hold Cincinnati to 21, 24 points. We held them to 27. I was very close. I think we'll hold Tampa Bay to the same 21, 24 points. I don't think they'll
I gotta find a girlfriend like Brian. Straight up. Like,
you can just ask him out straight up if you want to.
Whoa!
like,
You can put
insane,
on a little dress for you or something next time.
insane. Loyal to a fault and delusion. Right? Perfect.
Extremely.
That's the type of woman I need. Like,
I'm telling you, dude, it's not that crazy to think. All right, as long as Cooper Rush goes out there and has himself a game, Rico Dowdle goes out there and has another 100-yard game. Exactly, Cowboys are gonna go out there and dominate. Exactly. If
Ray.
Rico Dowdle's had over 100 yards last 3 weeks in a row. I mean, boy's cooking. All right, if he goes out there and has another 100-yard game against Tampa Bay, Cooper Rush throws for 2 touchdowns. That right there is possibly 21 points for us.
we'll
If our
see.
defense hold them to 21, I mean, we
Ray.
can win it, dude. It's not
Yes.
crazy.
I think he's single.
Make your
You wouldn't
move.
catch me dead dating a Cowboy fan. That's not the point I was making. But I'm sure he's lovely. But actually, I know he's not lovely. But
We'll make a AI photo of Brian if he was a girl and see what you think after that.
Long hair down the side.
Did you guys ever
has
see
lipstick and everything.
the quarterbacks that like gender swapped?
Yeah.
Like that was a post that was going
Trevor
around.
Lawrence was a baddie, bro. I'm not gonna
Dude,
Yeah.
Joe
lie.
Burrow was a supermodel.
Did they just take Trevor Lawrence and then take a picture of him and put it next to a picture of Trevor Lawrence that's not changed at all?
Yeah.
Basically.
I'm not a girl, bro.
Yeah, I love that. Stop sending me dick pics. I'm not a girl, bro.
There's a video of a cheerleader that looks exactly like him, and she's like dancing in front of the camera and shit like that. Have y'all seen that video before? Oh my gosh, she looks exactly like Trevor Lawrence. Like it's not fake,
Trevor
it's a real
Lawrence
girl.
looks like the woman that like you go to the bar and you have a great night with your
All
pals
right,
and you get wasted
right.
and you wake up and there's like a beautiful body and the nice hair and all that shit. And you're like, damn, baby. And then she turns around and looks at you. It's like, whoa, hey.
All right,
That's
good
Trevor
stuff
Lawrence.
last night.
Man, look at the time. Oh shit, I gotta go.
Speaking of things we don't want to wake up to, here's our primetime parlay again this week, boys.
God, DJ Moore, you son of a bitch, dude. He was so
Rigged.
close to hitting it too. Screw you, Chicago. He was so close to hitting it.
Yeah, and
Worst
Go ahead.
passing defense in the NFL. They let in the most yards to all wide receivers in the NFL across the season. The worst. And he was at like 47, 48 yards. Couldn't get to me 10 more yards, jackass.
yeah, we were dead on with the under for Bryce Young though. I like
Yep.
Yeah.
that was I think that might be the first time we took an under this on the primetime parlay this year. I don't recall us ever taking an under before, but we actually hit on that one. Unders are so dangerous. Seems like.
I will say too, it's crazy that the people that got this week's picks wrong is me and then Wakko. It's crazy that Wakko got that pick wrong. Also,
I didn't get that pick wrong.
the George Kittle pick.
That's not me. That's not
Yeah,
me.
you missed on that one, bro. I didn't
For
lose
those
it.
of y'all that don't know,
That's
I
not
don't know
me.
if he posted this or not. When we made the parlay pick on Tuesday, George Kittle was at X amount of yards. And then
55 and a half.
55 and a half, and he ended up finishing with what, 61?
61.
So
Yeah.
he technically went over if we would have placed the parlay Tuesday, but we didn't place the parlay until Thursday, and by Thursday he had went up to 62 and a half yards.
Only like 6 or
So he
7
didn't.
yards ahead of what I picked or whatever.
So
But-
he was a yard and a half short and didn't go over.
To be fair, Josh Allen was
To be
also
fair.
over what we had said on Tuesday, and so was Drake May. No, not Drake May. DJ Moore. DJ Moore was
Yeah.
at like 55 or something
Can
like
we
that.
still
be
wouldn't have went
notified
over, though.
of the changes, just in case we want to switch them?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're gonna have to do because obviously, I guess if it's more than a couple yards,
And even to be fair with that dude, George Kittle at 62 and a half still doesn't seem that crazy.
No, it
seem that
doesn't.
crazy for George Kittle.
it doesn't. But it missed.
The fact
by-
that he
by
finished
one,
at 61 is
Two.
kind of crazy, but
Yeah. Trust me, I didn't even think about it missing. When I saw the difference in the number, I'm like, shit, that's just one more catch. It's good, I was like, they're gonna smoke this game anyway. I wish I had remembered that it was a Thursday game. But yeah, yeah. So for sure, if there's any changes, we'll talk about it in our chat and maybe make adjustments before
And-
we actually.
And on
place the bet.
underdog, you can like change it too. Like you can go under, you know what I'm saying? It'll be like a 0.7x pick if that's what we want to go for. Like if I took Kittle and it was at 62, you could just take, you know, a lower amount on it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
the next one was like super low though. It dropped it
Like
down to like
40 or
42 or something
yeah.
like that. And
I
it's-
remember seeing that. It was like really low.
Yeah, and because I saw that, I was like, damn, it went up 7 yards, and so I looked, and the next one was like super low, and I was like, we'll just take the 62.5, I guess. So it was me. I made a judgment call. Probably in hindsight, it wasn't a good call, obviously, and it cost us $18, 10 if you count the loss, but 10 more if you count the loss. But yeah, you know, you win some, you lose some, you live and you learn. That's how close. That's how gambling go.
I would say that
Yeah.
right there it goes, man. I looked at that dude for hours beforehand, checking different bets, different players, looking up different stats, looking up I like to go to the fantasy football website and I'll check on the projected points for the week just to see who might be playing against weaker defenses. Then look up those, like that's why I knew the whole shit with DJ Moore. I looked it up and I saw DJ Moore was playing against. They were green, so I checked it out. Vikings were number 1 for wide receivers to go against, the worst passing. So I looked it up, looked up their stats, checked out what DJ Moore's been doing. I was like, okay, dude, yeah, this is a pretty sure thing, man. Like DJ Moore's gonna get him some effing yards. Nope.
Nope.
More
Nope.
proof that a lock is never actually a lock.
You can look up for hours. You can do hours of research, hours of stats, hours of Googling different things and names and rankings and this and that. And then Caleb Williams goes out there and throws like trash and they don't do anything.
Hey, I mean, our lock of the year for the longest time was Derrick Henry, anytime TD. He hasn't scored a touchdown in 3 straight games now.
Well, that's what I'm actually going with this week. So.
Oh, yeah, let's get him. He's going back.
All right, so let me
He's coming back into
let
it.
me get my sheet of paper out here. My
Yeah.
pappy.
I know my man. I said it earlier too. I'm doing Gibbs over on anytime touchdown with Montgomery being out now. Like I said this earlier, you know, I know that their third string will come in there and he's going to get himself some carries. But Gibbs and Montgomery have made themselves the vocal point of that offense. And if their third string comes in there, he might get some carries. But I say 5, 6, 7 carries on the game. Gibbs is going to get the rest. And I think that's a lock that he's going to get a touchdown. I want to take him over on yards, but he just had a very bad game for yards, and so I don't know. I'm just going to take the touchdown.
Gibbs TD. And see, here I am. I'm like nervous about it. I'm still in like shell shock from the week that we did all touchdowns and lost again. So I'm like, I heard you said Gibbs anytime touchdown, and I shuddered for a second. And then I was like, wait a minute, never mind, it's Gibbs.
Yeah. Dude, that's what I was saying in the chat, man. I was like, Gibbs was already almost a for sure bet on an anytime touchdown, and now you take Montgomery out of the picture.
Yeah,
he was getting a touchdown every week with Montgomery, and they're getting a touchdown every week.
Yeah, and let's face it, I think Detroit. You know, the thing about Detroit that's scary though is they I think Q said it in the they look like the mash ward or something like that. They got a lot of injuries piling up. I didn't realize they had as many. When Q was talking about how many injuries Detroit had, I was like, who? I was like, Montgomery, that's the only guy I can think of, but they got a slew of injuries, and that's all anybody's talking about right now is they had such potential and still do, but man, our injury is going to derail this Lions team right now. So I don't know. Hopefully not.
I don't think so.
They are. I'm a Lions fan right now. Let me just say that first and foremost. Like now that we know the Cowboys are pretty much out of the picture, I'm a Lions fan. I'm rooting for them.
Just
year.
before we get too far off topic, did that Trevor Lawrence comment from Lobster get put up on screen? Because I feel like it deserves to.
Oh, the Trevor Lawrence looks like she plays volleyball.
It's how casually she dropped the she. Trevor Lawrence looks like she plays volleyball. That got me, dude. I just looked up and saw that.
For sure. Janu, what you got, man?
I think I'm gonna go with the Marvin Mims this week over on receiving yards because I do think, even though it's a Thursday game, I think Denver's gonna cook, and Marvin Mims, especially if this is available, receiving and rushing yards, has been being utilized a lot more in the offense like he should have since last year. And I just feel like with the Chargers defense, they're gonna try and lock up Cortland Sutton. I feel like Marvin Mims is going to hit over that minimum, like 15 yards or whatever it's at. It's not posted up yet because he is not like, popular player or anything like that. But Marvin Mims is definitely going to hit it. I'm confident in that.
I got Marvin Mims at 23.5 receiving yards right now.
All right. I'm going to take that one, and I'll send you a message if I decide to change it. But I like that number.
23.5 doesn't seem like a lot, that's for sure. I'm all of a sudden I'm second guessing myself again. We were talking about me staying with the Josh Allen train, but I just realized that's a home game, and I'm a little nervous about their weather right now. They're still getting in fact Sunday they showed Buffalo because they were getting hit by the still by that snowstorm or whatever, and they were like, but luckily we're playing in Detroit in a dome and nice and cozy and warm and yada yada yada. I'm wondering if we should I'm gonna say it for now, Josh Allen over on passing yards, because we all know that Josh Allen is literally on a tear right now, and hell, even in the snowstorm, he might be able to throw for 250. But I'm still reserving the opportunity to check the weather forecast and see if I should maybe think about putting him on the ground, or maybe I take a rushing touchdown by Josh Allen instead. I'm not sure, but Josh Allen's cooking. He should be in your bets no matter what. I don't even know. In some way, form, or fashion, Josh Allen is a.
I feel like the Josh
safe
Allen
bet.
anytime touchdowns also just as much of a lock.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to bet the over under, and it's either pass yards, pass TDs, or the rush and receiving TDs. Those are your two options on Underdog or Prize Picks. So
that's what I was saying. I was talking about the anytime touchdown for rushing. Like, I feel like Josh Allen, like we were talking about that earlier, he robs James Cook all the time.
yeah,
And when they're in the red zone, he looks to rush it himself first, and then he looks to pass it. And then if they can't, then maybe he'll toss it off to Cook.
That's why a lot of people thought that Henry wasn't going to be that good this year, because Lamar Jackson's a rushing quarterback. Yep. So obviously he would take a lot of the rushing touchdowns.
Right here.
Yep.
I said at the start of the season, dude.
I did too.
I was like, man, don't get me wrong. I said Derrick Henry's an amazing running back, but he's going to be trash this season with the Ravens. They were already the best rushing defense team in the NFL, and you have Lamar Jackson who rushes the ball all the fucking time. You really think he's going to give it up? Zip. Sorry, I'll just shut my mouth because apparently I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, basically. Basically, we have no clue. We're just a bunch of dudes. We're just a bunch of chill guys. And what did Dab say? Dab's put his pick in the thing, didn't he?
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor anytime TD.
Yeah, that's what it was. Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown. Which also we didn't do the.
Is he smoking?
Probably.
No, remember, guys, I told y'all he's not smoking anymore, so his brain's going to mush. He had to stop smoking for his new prison job. So his brain isn't working right.
Taylor had been doing so bad over the last several weeks beforehand that I actually faded him this week on one of my bets. It didn't pay off because he actually scored a touchdown for the first time in 4 weeks. But I don't know if I trust him this year, or I mean, in this game against Tennessee. I don't know. Maybe I'll try. Maybe we should talk him out of that one.
I think the rationale is it could be like a redemption for what he did last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough to trust a guy, especially on a team like that, and that has been ceding carries to his other guys. You know, like I don't know. That's not a point. That's not a player I look at when I'm like looking for a lock. You know what I mean?
Me neither.
So I don't like it.
I don't hate the pick though.
I don't hate it. I don't think it's necessarily a lock, but I don't hate it.
Locks only, boys. Locks only.
Man, give your balls a tug.
You're facing Tennessee. Like that's a pretty safe pick, I
Give
think.
your balls a tug, okay, Wakko?
All right. Well, I'll let you put your $10 on it then.
We kind of did. That's kind of why we're all here right now having this conversation.
Yeah.
You only got $2 in it. Hey, where's my winnings from the Cowboy $10 Cowboy bet this week?
See, the thing is, you live in a state that isn't cool, and it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know, buddy. Ask your congressman.
That's Mark Cuban to hurry up and push it through.
Yeah.
Jeez, the lieutenant governor down here is more concentrating on trying to ban hemp, psychoactive hemp. Let's not get in that conversation about politicians. What else? Somebody want to scan through the injury report real quick? I don't have it pulled up.
All right. So pretty straightforward. Patrick Mahomes with the right ankle sprain, he is questionable. Geno Smith with a right knee injury, he will likely play Week 16. Tommy DeVito is in concussion protocol. Alvin Kamara has a strained groin. Nick Chubb has a broken left foot. He is out for the season.
Nick Chubb's done. I think his career is done, dude.
Yeah,
I said
He
that
shouldn't
after
have
his
come
last
back.
injury. Yeah, and he came back, and now I honestly think he won't ever come back again after
Yeah.
this injury.
David Montgomery has a torn ACL. He's out for the season, which is bad for me because I need him in my playoffs. Jaleel McLaughlin has a quad injury. He's doubtful. Alec Pierce is in concussion protocol. Jalen Waddle has a right MCL sprain. He is likely out. Xavier Legette has a groin strain. He's doubtful. Zach Ertz is in concussion protocol. I'm sure there's others, but
Yeah.
that's the gist of it right now.
Yeah, that's gonna have some championship fantasy impact for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily for me, the leagues I have, I'm in consolation, so it doesn't really matter. But
No one said politics got us.
still helps.
Stop it.
Did someone say politics?
We don't do that here.
Chat's canceled.
The chat is canceled. Done. You're done. Well, all right, boys. How about an extra point? I've got a good one, and I'm gonna be on the soapbox for a minute. So why don't y'all hit me?
I got a quick extra point. I already know I'm going to say too. So my extra point is actually going to be a shout out to where's my finger point to that person down there with my green screen at my angle, and then the person in my chat that is very close to me, Miss Lobster. My extra point is going to say this: at the beginning of the season, I said win, lose, or draw, no matter what happens this season, there's one thing I want. One thing that I wanted from this fantasy football season. And there's still a big chance that it's going to happen. Someone with my blood is going to win that trophy. And right now, Lobster and Janu, listen to this, are playing each other, right? So one of them will 100% be going to the championship. If they were playing opposite people, they could both lose this week, and then neither one of them can make it to the championship. But since they're playing each other, no matter what, someone from my family is going to that championship and has a chance at winning that trophy.
So you
So
don't
shout
consider
out
me
y'all.
family.
No, you
Thanks.
too.
Thanks.
You too. You too. But that was you're up there also. I didn't necessarily forget about you. But out of the three people in the fantasy football, that's my sister and my nephew. Wakko is my brother. But like blood, dude, there was three people with the same blood in this right now, and I'm sorry I let you guys down and didn't make it. But two of the three still have a chance, okay? So that's my extra point, man. Shout out you two. Good luck to whoever wins, whether it's Janu or Lobster, man. Honestly, my good luck is for the week after that in the championship. Good luck to whoever makes it to the championship and winning. Take
Yes,
that shit
sir.
home.
That's a Marcus messaged me this morning. He goes, "So great, it's me versus you and your household."
Everybody in this house is in the playoffs. Everybody in this house.
That's crazy, dude.
My extra point is we didn't really get a chance to talk about it in the episode, but a lot of controversy around Travis Hunter winning the Heisman, saying, Ashton Genty had a historic college season and blah blah blah, and that's true. He's probably one of the best college running backs ever. But that doesn't change the fact that it doesn't change the fact that Travis Hunter is a top 5 college player in 2 positions, and he played over 1,400 snaps on both sides of the ball, which is I want to say 400 more than the next closest player. He put on 2 top tier. He played two top tier seasons in 1 season on both sides of the ball. It's not to say that Ashton Genty's a bad player. He's not a bad player, but to say that Travis Hunter shouldn't have won it, you just don't know ball. Like he played both sides of the football. He played a top tier season for both of those positions. He's going to be 3rd overall pick at or higher in the NFL draft this coming season. He is a blue chip generational player. He's absolutely deserving of the Heisman, and I think both he and Genty are going to have flourishing NFL careers.
Hey, let me ask you this: do you think he gets to play both sides of the ball when he gets to the NFL?
I don't. From what I've heard, a lot of teams that are interested in him, preliminary at least, they're scouting him for cornerback, which is probably the smart move, because he, there are a lot of comparable wide receivers. There aren't many comparable cornerbacks. He was nails on that side of the ball. If he goes to the Patriots, he's more than likely going to play as a wide receiver to pair off with Drake May. He's an excellent after the catch wide out. He's really good at contested catches, hence why he is good at both sides of the ball. And it's something that the Patriots need right now, especially it's something that Drake May needs. All these quarterbacks that, they came into the season with high they came into the league with high expectations. They really kind of broke out and started to do really well once they got paired off with that highly talented wide receiver, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, formerly. Those are two pretty prominent examples. But if the Patriots don't end up taking him, I think another team takes him as a cornerback.
Will we ever see another Deion Sanders both sides of the ball player in the NFL? I mean,
so some players do it, and the Patriots already have a player that can do both. Marcus Jones can play both sides of the football. He doesn't play much offense, and he occasionally does a kick return. But with a player like Travis Hunter, it may get a little more attention. There may be a possibility where he's doing kickoff returns or
special teams. I don't really count special teams. I mean actual offense and defense.
I don't think
he's not going to play every snap on every both sides of the ball.
The only way I think that will happen,
depending on matchups. And
the only way that will happen is
if
I think he gets low snap counts on offense, and they just happen to test him out and throw him in there or something like that on defense.
So in the case of the Patriots, the Patriots already have a blue chip quarterback. We have, they have Christian Gonzalez. he's one of the best. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. It's not like they need Travis Hunter to come in and kind of carry the defense, like some of these other
Your dog.
teams that.
So I've been trying to take you seriously. I have been laughing at you. That background, the entire time your dog's been chasing his tail. So he's just been running circles in that back corner while you were talking about college shit.
That's what he does.
It was so funny to see.
That's
man.
what he does.
He was literally just circles.
A lot of other teams that are interested, that they're more than likely interested in him as a cornerback. So
Interesting. Janu, what you got?
Just good luck to everyone in the playoffs, man. I already kind of said my extra point, but I'll just say it again. Everyone in the house is in the playoffs, so, it's a W for us. Not everyone in the blood made it, but I appreciate, supporting us and everything like that. You got your trophy, so now it's time for mine. You know what I'm saying? I got to get mine, put it right up here with the Creeper and the Enderman, the little Jonesy guy, and the little Chow. Everyone can see it and, continue the tradition. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't, I hope at least, one of y'all do, either Jason or Lobster. So bring it home.
Let's go.
No offense, Mark. But you're losing to someone in that house.
My extra point really has to do with next week's slate of games. Did you guys know that we have 2 games on a Wednesday next week? Yeah.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, so, and I mentioned it when I posted the
not
new
just any Wednesday either.
Yeah, so Christmas Day, not only is the NFL playing on a day that they normally don't play on, but they've moved 2 games up to Wednesday. They still have the Thursday game, and obviously all the games on Sunday, maybe 2 games on Monday. I don't know what's going on with the rest of the schedule, but I look, this is nothing but a money grab by the NFL. They know that everybody's at home. They know that everything's closed. They know that their ratings are going to get boosted because people are going to want to watch football if it's on. And, everybody's stuck at home, doing family. I think it's asinine that the NFL is taking all these families away from all these people away from their families, because I don't even care about the players as much. They're millionaires playing a game. They signed up for it. They can have Christmas on another day. This isn't even about the players. Think of the thousands of people it takes to staff a NFL stadium for a game. And all these people now have to work on Christmas because the NFL wants to make a few extra bucks or get a few extra points in ratings on a couple games. Like, is this not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard of? Am I the only one out there that thinks this?
It's weird.
That's just the NFL being the NFL. They want to, they control the TV space all year round.
Yeah, and then now it takes also it puts more pressure on 4 more teams' bodies that just got done playing. Now, not only they're only playing on a few days rest now instead of an entire week.
People already talk about that. People are talking about trying to get rid of Thursday games because of how it's putting more stress on people with shorter weeks to play. And now you're throwing out Wednesday games. That's even a day less to put out there, dude. Like,
right? It is just. I mean, I'm disgusted with it, honestly.
Most teams try to give you at least 1 day off after for rest and relax, talk to the family after that shit. So if you play Sunday, you usually have Monday off. So if you have Sunday, they play Sunday, then they're gonna have Monday off. Tuesday they're gonna come in there and practice. Wednesday's the game.
Yeah, isn't that crazy,
dude? Come on.
When do they do film? When do they, prep?
And then even this too, it might suck with the short week, but then they get a bonus on the week after that because then they'll have all of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday before they have another game. Mm-hmm. Where everybody else will only have 7 days. They'll have like 10, 11.
Yeah, it's
almost like having an extra bye week.
Right. You almost have a bye week after that game. Yeah,
Well,
I'm literally disgusted by this. By like and the more I think about it, the more it pisses me off.
We're gonna
I
be worried
really
about
don't like.
fantasy on
Like
Christmas,
Lobster
bro.
said, one of
I
the
don't like
teams
it.
are going to have to be traveling because they're going to be an away game. So one of those days is going to have to be travel. You're going to have a half a day of practice, then half a day of travel, getting your hotels, getting all your shit out there, getting family out there. Like, yeah, that's true.
Well,
We're
if you
gonna
don't
have-
know what to get you new for Christmas, give me an underdog gift card for Christmas.
I like that. Wait, are those real?
I don't know.
I'm changing my registry.
I was looking for gift cards today because I was picking up stuff for Thursday's podcast, and they had Underdog and
No
DraftKings gift
Hell yeah.
cards.
Wow, that's awesome.
No, that's
I
another
mean,
thing
that's not
too.
awesome. Don't do that, guys. Gambling's
I
bad.
mean, totally not cool. What?
That's pretty
Weird.
fucking cool, though.
That means that our most people's fantasy football championship has 2 Wednesday games and a Thursday game.
That's crazy, dude.
Already terrible games to have to bank on for fantasy football, and now we got 3 of them instead of 1. Oh, I'm
Right.
just irritated.
They're in entertainment business. What do you expect?
You know,
Command the space.
this is what retailers started finding out back in the day. Remember, this is kind of akin to that, how Black Friday was the big sales day, and it was like every year retailers were opening up earlier and earlier, and it went all the way to the point where stores were opening up at midnight on Thanksgiving, making it, Friday. They were, and then next thing you know, they were opening up at like 4 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day for Black Friday sales. And then all of a sudden, everybody just said enough. People want to be with their families on Thanksgiving. People don't want to mess with your retail crap. Put it all back on Friday, and now nobody opens up until Friday again because everybody had enough and wanted to get back to having family, leaving holidays like Thanksgiving for family. And this is what we need to do to the NFL. I'm sorry, I'll get off my soapbox, but seriously, I'm irritated.
I'm laughing at Lobster again.
Nobody
Lobster's
watches.
being fun tonight, man.
Jacob's gonna lose on Christmas.
Christmas gift ain't coming this year.
Hey,
His Christmas gift is a championship trophy.
if Jacob loses on Christmas, that means he beat you this week.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's saying she's gonna lose.
Ah!
She's already predicting that she's gonna lose.
She think about that.
Not
Wait,
Lobster
wait.
called it. Jacob's even Lobster thinks Jacob's beating her, or Janu's beating
It's
her.
over.
Oh no!
It's over.
All right, let's.
No matter what happens, okay, Wakko, one of y'all in the house, somebody needs to get a piece of coal, because no matter what happens, one of y'all will be playing in the championship. So whoever plays in the championship on Christmas, whoever loses, you need to give that person a piece of coal, because that's all they're fucking getting for Christmas this year. She said, wait a minute. Yeah, you made a mistake when you thought you could win. Oh, I'm on Team Janu now after she said she wasn't winning.
All right, kids, let's get out of here. We want to find a quick raid target so we can let Ray get to bed here. He's got to work in the morning.
I mean, I personally was okay with making Ray stay on for a couple more hours, but
I mean, I guess.
X is out.
Dab of Honey is online. I haven't seen her stream in a
That
while.
Digital Navy guy's online right now.
Yeah, I see that.
The guy that plays rocket racing and shit.
That guy's
Yeah.
a
I
jerk.
have
He's
one
kind of a
viewer
dick.
to make.
All right, what'd you say, Dabo Honey?
Here, I put it in the chat. Dab of Honey.
All right, I'm ready to start it up. She's not. She must not be taking raids, or I don't have enough viewers to raid her. One of the two.
I'm rating her with 3.
Well, I've only got 2 over here, so.
I have me. That's it.
All right.
Hey.
Well, you'll have to
Yeah.
represent us well.
We got
All right, rock and roll. You guys, awkward wave time. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys being part of the conversation tonight. We'll see you.